Hello, hello. I am so glad you are here. I am Cheryl McCreary, your executive leadership coach, and we are ready to slay imposter syndrome. You are right in the middle of the Slay Imposter Syndrome live coaching series. So I'm so glad you're here. So today we're going to be talking about how to stop being indecisive and how that relates to imposter syndrome. So if you're someone who's, sometimes this happens for me too, certainly happens for my clients, where you go through periods of being indecisive, not making a decision, not wanting to step wrong, not sure about what to do, and it's keeping you up at night and you're struggling with it and trying to decide, should you turn left, should you turn right, what should I do? And I find that this indecisiveness has become a little bit chronic now that we are in this massive pandemonium, which is what I call the pandemic, right? So we have this pandemic going, it's sort of at the end, but then there's these surges. And then you're working at work and then you're working at home and then you're back at hybrid. So there's all this uncertainty, all this turbulence that's happening. And this breeds indecisiveness. This breeds the inability to just settle down, make a decision, or make a commitment because there's so many unknown things happening. So everyone is struggling with this feeling indecisive. But here's a little secret. Indecisiveness can also be a symptom of imposter syndrome because typically when we are indecisive chronically, I'm not talking about, every once in a while you're indecisive, but if you're chronically indecisive, what is going through your mind is, what if I make the wrong decision? What if I make a mistake, right? And so that's indicating not trusting the self, not trusting that you have enough experience or expertise or know-how or just intuition to make a good decision, right? So that lack of trusting yourself to really make the decision that needs to be made. So that is one way that imposter syndrome, which, as I've been saying, imposter syndrome is that little inner critic voice that's saying, you're not good enough. What are you doing? What do you think you're doing? You're not. Why are you making this decision? Who do you think you are? They're going to find out you're a fraud, right? That toxic, chronic kind of self-doubt breeds indecision, right? And another way that we can, or reason that we can be indecisive, is because we don't want the responsibility. What if something goes wrong? And that's still related to not trusting ourselves, right? I don't want to make that decision. What if something goes wrong? I don't want to be responsible. But here's the thing: as a leader and as an on the rise professional, what you have to do is make decisions. Leaders have to make decisions. That's part of the job. And so I want to talk about a few ways that you can break through that indecisiveness and really jump into making a decision, moving yourself forward, and getting yourself unstuck. So let's talk about that. I want to share with you this quote. It's by an unknown author that I think really explains indecisiveness so well. It says, if you chase two rabbits, both will escape. Right. So if you're chasing a couple of different decisions, you're sort of trying to decide, am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? Going back and forth. Both of those opportunities, both of those situations, both of those things escape. If they don't disappear, they certainly, you lose control of them, right? You lose control and you're sort of dithering around, and then, other people come in and take up the reins or take the control. So here's what I want you to be thinking about, or contemplating, or a way for you to begin to be more decisive. Be more decisive. So one thing is, you've got to stop overthinking. You've got to stop overthinking. So many times we get caught up in overthinking something, overthinking, weighing the pros and cons, and we just get stuck. And so one way to begin to break the spell of overthinking is to ask yourself, what am I really afraid of here? What am I really afraid could happen? Right. And one of the things that I do for myself is I will disasterize something, right? And really think about, like, what is the worst that can happen? What am I afraid of here? What's making me stuck? What's making me not make a decision, not move right nor left? And many times the thing, if you really just get, really explore your emotions, and really ask these questions, you will find out that the worst thing that can happen is, probably not going to happen. It probably is just not going to happen. And so that's a big question to ask yourself, to stop and say, okay, stop that overthinking and go, what is the worst that could actually happen here? What am I afraid of happening? And then I want you to flip it And I want you to then think about, and this is something that's really good to write down, because what that does is it gets it out of your head, it gets it out of your emotional state, and it gets it onto a piece of paper where you can be a little bit more objective, right? You can be a little bit more detached and a little bit more in that strategy mindset versus sort of the fear mindset. So after you've asked, what am I really afraid of? Then ask yourself, what's the best thing that could happen? What's the best thing that can happen if I go left or if I go right? Right? What is the best thing that can happen if I make this choice? What is the best outcome that can happen if I make this choice? Right? And so if you begin to look at, really think that through, or write that through, or flip chart it through, whatever you need to do. I love to sometimes do my thinking using a flip chart, because I can write a bunch of stuff or see a lot of stuff as I'm sort of weighing through things. So that is the second question for you. What is the best that can happen? What's the best outcome? And then I want you to really think about, um, what is the first move? Like, what is the first move you can make? How can you jump right into whatever the step is you need to take? How can you just make a move, right? Take some action. There's a great quote that once you make Ralph Waldo Emerson said, once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. And what I love about this is that it's saying, once you decide, then all the pieces, all the unknown pieces that you need, all of the help that you need, all of the different things that need to happen will come together. And so many times we don't make a decision, or we're stuck, or we're indecisive, because we don't know exactly how something's going to unfold or how it's going to happen. We can't see it right in front of us. So we just stay in this place of indecision. Versus if you break through and make that decision and decide, I'm going to do this. This is the way we're going to go forward. Then the energy and the focus that you have in that decision, and letting the other thing go, let the other rabbit go, that energy and focus then becomes a propeller. It propels you forward, right? It propels your thinking forward. Okay, now I've decided I'm on this one track. Okay, here's the next step. Here's the next idea. Oh, here's the next solution. Oh, here are the people I need for this. Oh, here's the plan I need to put together for this. Oh, here are the components I need in order to move forward. Right. And that can only happen when you stop straddling two different things and you actually choose one thing. Then that momentum and that focus, the focus that you have, then creates momentum. It creates synchronicity, and it creates a way, as Emerson says, for the universe conspires to make it happen, right? Providence moves forward to meet you once you make that decision. So these are the things I want you to be thinking about and practicing as you are stuck in this indecision right now and during this time of turbulence. One other thing I'll say about this is, imagine if you're on a plane and you hit turbulence, right? And there's a lot of turbulence happening on that plane. You want a pilot who knows how to make a decision, right? You don't want a pilot who is indecisive. You don't want a pilot who's not sure, should I push this lever or do this lever? Should I go here or should I do there? When you're in a turbulent situation, you want the pilot to make a decision, follow it through, and get you to solid ground, right? Well, that's exactly what your followership, what your people, your family, whoever you are a leader of, that's what they want from you. We are in turbulent times. This is turbulent times. We are in the turbulence. And so what's required is to make a decision and to go for it. So hopefully this has been helpful to you, these tips I've given you. Let me know if this is working for you, if this is something that's resonating. And I would love for you to join me inside of Slay Imposter Syndrome. There's a link right down below there. You should see it there, where you can click on that link and learn more about imposter syndrome and how you can gain mastery over it, so that you can still perform at a high level no matter what the turbulence is. You can still break through that indecisiveness no matter what is going on. So I hope to see you there. Otherwise, stay tuned and we'll have more coaching coming. I'm Cheryl McCreary, your executive leadership coach. See you soon.